Welcome to Pemberley Farm. Well, this morning we are going to cook lion's mane mushroom. And if you saw our last video, you know that we found a this lion's mane mushroom on a tree near coming into our property off our dirt road along our driveway. Well, we've never done anything with wild mushrooms. We raise shiitake mushrooms here and we eat them, but we don't do anything with wild mushrooms because I'm always afraid that, you know, if it's a bad mushroom, that could be your very last of anything. So I don't mess with them. But this is pretty obvious that this is a lion's mane. Plus, we did some research, and even if you get one that is not lion's mane but favors it a little bit, it would just make you have an upset stomach and things like that. It's not deadly, in other words. So there's no deadly look-alike. But I'm pretty confident that this is a lion's mane mushroom, so we're going to cook it. But I've got notes here because, like I say, we don't do lion's mane, and I didn't know very much about it. And like I told you in the last video, lion's mane mushrooms have, you know, been around forever and been used as medicine and food for thousands of years. Now, there's said to be these benefits. Now, okay, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on YouTube, but I'll just read you what our research as we were looking this up said. It's said to improve brain function, which we can all use help with that, fight Alzheimer's, enhance focus, clarity, and learning. We could all use help with that, and can help with anxiety and depression and brain injury. Also said to help with cholesterol. We could all use help with that. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not here to tell you that that's the gospel truth. However, it is an interesting thing to note. Also, we're going to cook it today, and there are those who say that it tastes like lobster or crab. And, you know, they even make like crab cakes out of it. Well, I have everything but the Old Bay seasoning. I don't have any Old Bay seasoning, so we're not making crab cakes. We're just going to kind of fry it up a little bit. It's not, you know, deep fried or anything, but we're going to use olive oil and do some seasonings. And it says, this recipe says you can use it as a side dish or as the main dish with a salad and other vegetables. So we're going to give it a shot, and that's what we're going to do. Now, if we mess up, I've never done this before. So, you know, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this thing down the middle. Instead of starting at the end, I'm just going to cut it down the middle. And I mean, you know, this is all new to me. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Interesting. Now, I know that there are people who raise lion's mane mushrooms and they grow much smaller than this. This one is very large. This is more like a steak than just a small little slice of mushroom. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to set, because I can't cook it all at one time, even in my big pan, I don't have enough room for that. So I'm going to start slicing it. My knife's not long enough. Anyway, I'm going to start slicing it. It had begun to turn a little, not Snow White, which means, you know, it was beginning to get a little bit older. But I think Ashley's going to show you. It's pretty interesting. Like I said, if I mess this up, I just mess it up because this is all new to me. All right, so I think we've got enough probably to fill up our pan. So we're going to go ahead and start. I see all the little hairs. That's why it's called mane. I don't know if you can see that, but in my opinion, that would be why it would be called mane, because it looks like hair hanging down. All right, so let's look at our recipe. Oh, let me tell you first. We stored it. We weren't ready when we harvested it. We weren't ready to cook it right away, and so it said what we said the best way to store it is in a paper bag in the refrigerator, and so that's what we did. And because it was so big, we used a cash and carry bag. So that's what we used. Now our recipe calls for 1 large lion's mane. I believe that qualifies. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 cloves of minced garlic, a tablespoon of soy sauce, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and salt and pepper to taste. Now, I think that probably when they had said large lion's mane, they were not talking about anything this large. So we'll see how far we get with all of this, and just see. I'm not sure. I'm not real sure about all this, but we'll see. And if we mess up, we mess up, and it's a learning experience, right? So I'm not so sure that 2 tablespoons in this large pan and with that much mushroom is enough. I'm going to add a little more. This is olive oil. This is light olive oil. I use this when I make bread so that it doesn't flavor the bread. That's why I use such light olive oil, because I make a lot of bread. Alright, so this, what we're going to do is turn this on and let it start getting warm. We've already cleaned the mushroom and sliced it. We're heating the olive oil over medium-high heat, and we're going to add the minced garlic. And yes, I'm getting garlic out of a jar. Don't judge. I'm always in a hurry when I'm cooking, and I don't usually have time to mince every clove of garlic, and so I use it out of a jar. All right, and it says 2 cloves of minced garlic. Well, in my opinion, you can never have too much garlic, so we probably will do a bit more than that. That would be, you know, like that much. So, anyway, like I said, you can never have too much garlic or even too many onions, you know. I mean, they're yummy. And they make everything taste so good. So what we're going to do, we're going to heat the olive oil, and we're going to add the minced garlic and saute the garlic for about a minute. I put the garlic in a little bit soon. The olive oil wasn't really good and hot, but it's okay. It's beginning to show that. So we're going to do that for about a minute. And then we're going to add, let's see, then we're going to just put the mushrooms in on top of it. And then we add the rest of the ingredients later. And so while that's a little percolating here just a little bit, like I said, it's going to be salt and pepper, which we add at the last. And we're going to have the soy sauce as well. So, but first we have to let the mushrooms kind of griddle on this little bit of oil. See, it's not really fried, it's more like griddled on this little bit of oil and garlic. And then we're going to, for 3 to 4 minutes on each side. It needs to be golden brown and crispy. And we'll see how that works. I think I'm going to cut the bottom off of that piece. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I think it's a little high. So we're going to put it in. It can't hurt to have it on top of the, cut that little piece off too. That could be fine. I have no idea. No idea. But it just looks more stemmy to me. Is that a word? Not sure. All right. Oh, this one?
No filling.
It's all right. We'll do it when it comes out. All right, so this has got to do this. Oh, I see. For 3 to 4 minutes. And so we're going to pause it here so that you don't have to watch it griddle for 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll come back. Okay, we thought we'd come back while we're doing it. Now, we set the timer for 3 minutes the first time, because I didn't know, you know, if it might burn on 4 minutes. I just didn't know. So we turned it, and it wasn't really, I shouldn't have turned it, but we've turned it now. We set the timer for 4 minutes this time, because you can see how much liquid is coming out of this. They're very wet mushrooms, and some people, when they cook them, put something heavy on the top of it before they ever start seasoning or doing anything like that, and I might should have done that, but I was doing trying to do the shortcut, you know. But anyway, so we wanted to come back in just for a second for you to see that it's going to release a good bit of moisture. So we set the timer this time for 4 minutes. We'll see how it turns out. And I may have to turn it back over and do a little more on this side.
So when you talk about heavy, like a burger press?
Well, I've seen some people, you know, like I said, we did a good bit of research. I've seen some people put it in a pan and then put a heavy pot on top of it and mash it down. But yes, you could use like a bacon press or a burger press or something like that. But anyway, something heavy and so maybe that's what we should have done. I saw it both ways. People did it that way, people didn't do it that way. And not having any experience myself, I chose the simplest way. So, but that's okay. I mean, if that means it just has to cook a little bit longer to get the water out, that's fine too. Because like I say, they're a very moist, wet mushroom. That's why you don't want to pick them right after you've had a heavy rain. I do know that. And you don't want to soak them down with water. If you have to spritz them off a little bit, the most ideal way is to take a little brush, which is what we did, and brush it off. Okay, this took longer than 3 or 4 minutes on each side, I will tell you. There was a lot of water in them, and so now they're kind of golden brown. And it says till they're crispy, but these are not going to be crispy. And the original recipe said to cut them 1 inch thick, and I could not see ever getting crispy at 1 inch thick. So that's why I cut them as thin as I did. So anyway, also, you know, the garlic burns easily, and now the garlic is all burnt up. So you know how many of you do a recipe the way they say for the most part the first time, and then you change it? That's what we'll do with this. Also, Ashley and I have been discussing, there's a lot of mushroom left, and she has Old Bay seasoning. Well, she lives here on the farm in another house, and I never even thought to ask her, did she have Old Bay seasoning? So we're going to save the rest of this and make crab cakes, and we won't show you the whole process of that, but we'll show you the end result later in this video. And so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to finish this recipe up, and it says, all right, it says drizzle the soy sauce over. So I'm drizzling soy sauce. Now, if you'd rather use tamari, you could use that. So I'm drizzling the soy sauce. Then I'm going to use salt and pepper. I'm using Redmond's real salt. And black pepper. To taste, it's to your taste. And then smoked paprika. Ooh. Don't want to get too much. Okay. Alright. There's a lot more shaking than stuff coming out on that one. So anyway, that's how they look. I've turned it down to low. So we're going to I'm going to take it up. At first I thought I could do it with tongs, but they really require a spatula. So we're going to take it up. I'm going to turn the eye off and let them sit and cool a little bit. And then Ashley and I are going to be the guinea pigs. There's somebody that had asked, somebody that comes to our classes, he asked if I did very much with wild mushrooms, and I told him no, that I was afraid of them. And when we found this one, I sent him a text showing him this mushroom, and he kind of sent me a text back in jest saying that he would contact us in a week or so to find out if we were still around. So we're just now eating it several days later, but we'll see. I'm confident. I'm really not worried about it. I wouldn't let my child have some of it if I didn't think it was the real thing. So anyway, we're going to let it rest a little bit and cool off a little bit, and then we'll come back and do a taste test. Okay, it's truth time now. And I will tell you before we try it that Ashley and I were talking, and she had the idea of chopping it, instead of doing it like this, just chopping it up into little bits and stir frying it with the garlic, because like I said, the garlic went, it kind of went away with too fast. And so just kind of stir frying it with the garlic and using it as the base, maybe make an Alfredo sauce and use it over pasta. So that's an interesting thing too. All right, so the moment of truth. It's very meaty feeling. Ugh. I'm teasing. Had to do that.
I had the same thought.
Sorry guys, had to do that. Well, I don't know that it tastes like seafood. Ash, come try it. Now, when you tear it apart and look at it, it looks like fish. What do you think? I personally think it takes on whatever you feed it. Mm-hmm. Whatever spices you put on it, that's the taste you're going to have. That's what I think.
I think I don't like the soy sauce on it.
Yeah. So.
I think I would like it better how I said.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's a mushroom.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the soy sauce on it.
Yeah, I agree. But, like I said, we can try it like she did. There's plenty of mushroom here. So we can try like she said to make an Alfredo, because she makes good homemade Alfredo. And we can also try it, now that we know that she's got Old Bay seasoning, making a few little crab cakes, because there's this much and that almost that much again left. So there's plenty of it left. So anyway, if we don't put up a video again in a week, you'll know what happened. But anyway, I know you shouldn't talk with your mouth full. All right, sorry. Oh, wait a minute. There's a seafood aftertaste. Not while you're eating it, but after it's all gone, it has that, you know what, how seafood leaves in your mouth, this aftertaste. That's interesting. So maybe that tree will grow another one next year and we can keep experimenting with this stuff. But anyway, thank you so much for coming along on this little adventure, because this was all new to us, and thought, you know, you got to try new things. I mean, I know I'm old, but you still got to try new things. You can never stop learning, no matter how old you get. You always need to continue to learn and branch out a little bit. So this was definitely branching out. Well, finding that lion's mane at the beginning of the driveway made us start paying attention, and so not too far up the driveway, but still not quite up to the house, we discovered these. And so again, we took the photo with Google, and it said that they are oyster mushrooms. Now, I've never seen oyster mushrooms, and they're not as dramatic looking as the lion's mane. So, if any of you know for sure what oyster mushrooms look like, leave a comment below. Is that oyster mushrooms? My husband made it with his phone, and I made it with mine, and both times it came back as oyster. So this could be pretty interesting. Okay, we told you earlier in the video that we were going to try something else, and so we did today. We did crab cakes with the lion's mane mushroom. So we're going to try it. It looks more interesting than what we fixed the other day, or a couple of yesterday?
Earlier in the video.
Earlier in the video, anyway. So let's try it.
Let me try it.
Much better.
Man, I want to taste that too.
So, Ashley, come try it. It's chewy, like crab meat, the big chunks of crab meat, you know. So, this I think is a keeper. I'm not too impressed with just doing it like we did originally, but this is a keeper. And we didn't use all the mushroom. We still got mushroom left, enough to do
Alfredo.
Alfredo even. Or if we wanted to do more of these. And we did a simple yogurt sauce that we could put over it. But it's even good just like it is. So anyway, that is a keeper. But everyone, thank you again for watching, and have a very blessed day, and God bless you from Pemberley Farm.